All right. Good morning, everybody. So excited to be participating once again in our morning yoga class with all of you. So I appreciate you taking the time and being here. We've got a nice pyramid flow this morning, so I'm pretty excited to be practicing that with you. As always, I've got out things from around my house that may or may not be useful. Not everyone has a block, but if you do have a block, and we will be doing some balance poses today, so if you know that you'd like to, grab your block. If you don't already have it, it can be used as a nice way to sit up a little bit or pad your knee as we come into some of our poses today. But I thought we'd start on our backs. So let's get down onto our spines. And you can keep your knees bent here. You can let the legs go out long if that feels better on you. You might take a moment to flex and point the wrists and the ankles, or even stretch the body a bit. Just settling onto the ground. This is also a time you can use that blanket or those blocks to help support parts of your body that need it. Otherwise, letting the hands rest on the belly or next to the sides. And maybe shutting down the eyes or just unfocusing the gaze towards your ceiling. And this is the time just to let go of the breath. No need to start honing in any sort of tempo yet. Allowing yourself to just arrive onto your mat here. Let that full weight of your body become quite present for you. So feel the weight of the heels as the feet fall to the sides. Let the weight of the hips really start to sink down into the ground. Notice that nice natural curve the spine has. So there's usually a bit of a space behind you. You might almost be able to slip a hand underneath your body. There's no need to do anything with that space, just notice it. Feel the upper back start to fully connect with the earth. So the shoulders become heavy. The back of the head is firmly planted down. You might unclench your jaw a bit here. With that full weight now present in the mind, maybe you notice other sensations as well. Really falling refuge to that nice tone of the breath as it moves freely in and out of the body. If you find the mind begins to wander away from you, just gently draw it back. Once again, noticing those sensations, or just observing that breath. If setting an intention resonates with you this morning, this is the time you can start to find that person, place, thing, or idea that persuaded you to step onto your mat that you wish to dedicate the next hour to. And we'll continue to come back to that thought, but use it as your anchor point. If you find the mind wanders away mid-class, bring yourself back by remembering why you're taking this time out of your morning. And then we'll begin to deepen the breath. So if the hands are on the belly, you might start to fill the palms with air as the belly expands out on your inhale. And then exhale, press everything out of the body, and that belly button drops down toward the ground. Take a few deep breaths like that. Inhale, expanding the chest and belly into space. And as you exhale, release everything, maybe even parting the lips. A couple more like that on your own. And then if the lips are parted, you can softly bring them together and starting to channel that breath in and out of the nostrils. And your breath practice is really as unique as the intention you set. So maybe it's an Ujjayi pranayama, that constriction of the back of the throat, channeling the air in and out of the nose. It could be a deep belly breath. Maybe it's just a mindful breathing, something sustainable at a tempo that fits you this morning. Take the next few breaths here to solidify that breathing practice. And then we'll start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Once again, you might flex and point the ankles and the wrists. If you like taking that big body stretch, maybe reaching the arms overhead, sitting for so long. Starting to bend the knees. We're going to take a figure 4 for our first pose this morning. So crossing the right ankle over the top of the left thigh. Now you can keep that left foot planted down on the ground, or you can bring those knees in toward the chest. So be mindful, this is early in our practice. So our hips aren't quite open as they may be later. If taking a soft rock side to side feels nice for you, you might try that. Feeling that nice sensation in that right hip as you start to encourage that right knee more off to the right side of your mat. Now we'll take a twist here as well. You're welcome to lower that left foot back down before letting the feet fall to the left, or keeping those knees in. You can increase that stretch, letting the right foot connect to the earth. Maybe bringing your gaze to the right side of your mat. Let's come on back up through center. We'll take the same figure 4, but this time on the other side. So left ankle crosses the right thigh. Again, you can keep that right foot connected down or draw those knees in toward the chest. Again, being mindful of early in class still. But if you took that rock on the first side, maybe you rock softly side to side on this side as well. Thinking about flexing those toes back toward the shin. Nice sensation in that hip. And then once again, maybe we drop that right foot down before letting the feet fall to the right, or again, keeping the knee and then increasing that stretch. Maybe that left foot connects with the earth, and then you great. Let's come back up through center. Uncross those legs and bring them both knees into the chest now. Again, opportunity to massage that low spine. But we need to make our way to a seat. So you can roll off to one side, or you can begin to rock and roll up and down your back before coming to a nice folded leg position at the top of your mat. Bringing hands slowly to heart center. Let's take 3 breaths together here. So as we inhale, we'll sweep the hands out and up. Exhale, draw the hands down through heart center. 2 more. Inhale, sweep those hands out and up. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Last one, inhale. Then exhale. Great, we're gonna come to a cat-cow from here. So you can roll right over those knees or shift off to one side. Wanna think about alignment here. So knees are right over the hips, shoulders are right behind the wrists. When you're ready, inhale, you'll lower that belly down, extend the heart forward. Or as you exhale, tuck the pelvis, tuck the chin under. Continuing this practice as you inhale to lower the belly down, opening the heart toward the front of your mat. And then exhale, draw the mid back toward the sky. Now, as we continue to connect our breath and movement here, you might choose to move in other ways. So maybe C curve, side to side, maybe rolling forward over the wrists and back by the heels, or even just big barrel rolls around your own spine. It's kind of endless opportunities here just to move in ways that feel nice on your torso. Let's take 2 more breaths, and then we'll sit back in a child's pose. Letting the knees go out wide, toes together as the hips come down toward the heels. If you prefer to keep those knees together, that's fine as well. Forehead may rest down on the mat, or you may choose to bring a block if you have one. Bringing that observation back in, notice the breath quality. If it's changed, maybe you need to re-regulate. Starting to refine a practice of checking in with that intention. Taking 1 more breath here. As we inhale, draw yourself back up through tabletop, and right away we'll tuck the toes, lift the knees and hips, and find our first downward facing dog. So just like our tabletop, this down dog gives you some freedom to move in ways that just feel nice. So maybe pedaling into the feet a bit, or shifting the hips side to side. Making sure those fingers are spread out nice and wide, pressing into the forefinger and the thumb. Let's take 2 more breaths. As we inhale, gaze forward at the hands and shift toward a plank pose. So starting to build up a little energy into the arms, belly pulls in. Think about the straight line from your head to your hips and your hips to your heels. If you need to lower those knees down for a half plank, please do. On your next exhale, find a down dog. Hips lead the way, and take a breath here. On your next inhale, shift back to your plank. Nice long line. And as you exhale, find a downward facing dog. So we're going to do 2 more of those. Inhale, back to plank. Exhale, down dog. Just 1 more. Inhale, find your plank. And exhale, down dog. Great. Let's look forward as you inhale. And as you exhale, you can step, walk, or float to the top of your mat. So we'll take a forward fold here. Hands can rest down at the mat. Maybe you grab opposite elbows or even reach behind the back for a nice shoulder stretch. Letting the head hang loose. Shake out any unneeded tension in the neck or the top of the shoulders. Remember, you can keep a nice soft bend in the knee here, or even softly pedal the knees just to work into those hamstrings a bit. Releasing the hands down to the earth. As we inhale, let's lengthen the spine. So you might bring your fingers to your shins or even your thighs here, and then exhale, fold. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale, lengthen the spine, belly pulls in, and then exhale, fold. Last one. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold, reverse swan dive, straight spine, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Let's take 2 more breaths together like that. Inhale. And exhale, stay standing here. Last one, inhale. And then exhale. Let's take a side stretch. Inhale. the fingers, press the palms toward the sky, and then arch off to the right. Releasing the left side body, really plant that foot down into the ground. Belly pulls in, finding nice long growth. And as we inhale through center, we'll go to the other side. Letting the hands reach to the left side of your mat, lots of length on the right side of your body. Great, let's inhale back through center. And then exhale, release hands down. We'll take three Namaskar A, bringing hands to heart center. We'll take the first one slow together. Let's inhale, sweep the hands out and up. Exhale, dive forward, nice straight spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back to your plank, and we're gonna lower down to the mat. So bring the elbows in toward your sides. Everything's gonna land at once. Untuck those toes. Let's take a baby cobra together. So just feeling that engagement in the low back and the glutes. And then exhale, softly lower down. We're coming to a tabletop. Inhale, press your way up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Give yourself a couple of breaths here. Adjust your down dog if you need to. Let's inhale, gaze forward at the hands. Exhale, step, walk, or float. Find your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We're gonna do that 2 more times, but 1 breath, 1 movement. So let's inhale, sweep the hands out and up. Exhale, dive on down. Inhale, find that length again. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step or hop back to your plank and lower down, maybe to the mat or maybe through a chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest, cobra or an upward facing dog. And then exhale, find your down dog. Another breath or 2 here. Again, adjusting as needed. Let's inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step, walk, or float, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way back up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Last round. Inhale, sweep the hands out and up. Exhale, dive on down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back, vinyasa on your breath. Again, exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. And exhale, find your down dog. So we'll take an extra breath or 2 here in down dog. Again, we'll be doing a pyramid flow today. So we'll be starting from our down dog. Let's inhale, lift the right leg up. Feeling that length through the heel, reach toward the back of your mat. And as you exhale, draw the knee in toward the chest, plant the foot between the hands. We're coming to crescent pose first. So hands can make their way to your thigh, heart center, or extend those fingertips toward the sky. Belly draws in here, shoulders drop down. Nice. If you find yourself ever wobbly in your crescent pose, you can always walk the feet to the outer edges of your mat, widening the stance. 1 more nice long breath. Inhale. Let's exhale. Bring the hands down to the earth. Step back to your plank. Now, all vinyasas moving forward are optional. So you may choose to shift straight to down dog or head through your vinyasa on your own breath. Awesome. From down dog, let's do the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest, step between the hands, finding our crescent on the left side. So again, you can keep your hands on your thigh at heart center or extend them toward the ceiling. Feeling that length on that right side, stretching the right hip flexor. We're encouraging ourselves to keep as square as we can to the front of our mat. So maybe that right hip comes forward, rib cage, shoulders, everything is facing forward. Nice. Let's take another inhale here. On your next exhale, hands down to the earth. step back to your plank. Again, option to vinyasa or head straight to down dog. Taking a couple breaths in our down dog. Inhale, right leg lift. Step between the hands. As we inhale, crescent pose. As we exhale, warrior two. We'll hold warrior two here. Nice. So you can create some upward lift by drawing the feet together in your mind's eye. Nice deep bend in that right knee. Make sure it's tracking over the midline of that right foot. And then extending both arms. So don't let this back arm become a chicken arm. Extend it. Nice. Taking a couple more breaths here. On your next exhale, we'll windmill the hands down, frame the foot, step back to your plank. Again, option to vinyasa or down dog. On your next inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest, step between the hands, finding crescent pose first. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. So taking a few breaths again in warrior two here, maybe drawing those feet together to create that upward lift. Think about squaring the shoulders, the hips off to the right side of your mat. Gazing over those left fingers. Really nice. A couple more breaths. On your next exhale, windmill those hands down, frame the foot, step back to your plank, vinyasa or down dog. From your down dog, right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, knee to chest, step between the hands, crescent pose to start. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. So dropping the left hand down, right hand up. Belly pulls in, lots of length on that right side body. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, windmill those hands down, frame the foot, step back to your plank, vinyasa or down dog. From our down dog, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest, step between the hands, crescent pose as you inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Right hand down, left. So don't lose that nice bend in the left knee. As we inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, windmill those hands down, frame the foot, step back to your plank, vinyasa again. From your down dog, inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest, step between the hands, crescent pose as you inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Finding your way back to warrior two to find an extended side angle on the next exhale. So dropping the right forearm down to the side, rotate the left arm up and overhead. So again, we want a long line from the fingertips to the outside of the foot. We're thinking about stacking those shoulders. So maybe we gaze up toward the sky underneath that left tricep. Nice. Taking a couple more breaths here. Think about length on the right side of your body as well. As we inhale, find your way back to warrior two. Exhale, windmill the hands down, frame the foot, step back to your plank, vinyasa or down dog. From down dog, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest, step between the hands, crescent pose, inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Finding your way back to warrior two. And then as we exhale, side angle. Bending the left elbow to rest on the thigh. Rotating that right arm rather, around. Pinky fingers rotating down toward the earth. Long line again, right? From the fingertips to the outside of that right foot. Belly pulls in so we can create a nice solid torso. And then think about alleviating some of that pressure in the left arm. You could almost lift that arm if you needed to. You don't have to. Let's find our way back. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, windmill the hands down, frame the foot. Step back to your plank. Again, vinyasa or down dog. All right, inhale, right leg lift. Exhale, knee to chest, step between the hands. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. So coming through warrior two, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Find your way back to crescent. And then we're taking a twist on the exhale. So bringing hands to heart center, left elbow into the outside of that right knee. So knowing that your twist, you'll press into the palm to rotate the torso around. Seeing the nice stacking of the shoulders, maybe a gaze up toward the sky. Think about lengthening through that back left heel. Taking 2 more breaths here. We're coming back to crescent on our next inhale. Exhale, vinyasa or straight to down dog. Let's do the other side. Inhale, left leg lift. Exhale, knee to chest, step between the hands, finding your crescent as you inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, find your extended side angle. As we inhale, we'll find our warrior two. Working your way through your crescent pose. We're popping up on that back heel again, and then we're exhaling to rotate our prayer twist. So right elbow on the outside of the left knee, pressing into the palm. Now you can see the front side of my body. So again, thinking about stacking the shoulders, maybe gazing toward the sky. We're creating energy through that back heel, so press into that right heel. Taking a few more breaths here. Let's come up through crescent pose. Inhale. Exhale, vinyasa or down dog. Taking a breath or two here in down dog, and then we'll continue to add on. Inhale, right leg lift. Exhale, knee to chest, step between the hands. We're coming to crescent as you inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. So rotating that arm around. Inhale, warrior two. As we exhale, we need to come up through crescent and then find our nice twist. As we inhale, we're coming back to warrior two. So windmill your way all the way around. Then as we exhale, half moon. So I'm gonna need to step my front foot back a bit and then hinge from my hips, reaching my right hand down. Now you might let the hand touch the mat if you don't have a block. If you do have a block, you can always rest that. So here we're opening up the chest, we're stacking the hips, we're reaching that left foot back to the back edge of our mat. Nice. You can always hover these fingers as well. Let's just take 2 more breaths. We're going to land back, warrior 2. So bend into that standing leg, come all the way up. And then exhale, windmill those hands down, frame the foot, find your plank, vinyasa, or down dog. All right, we've got to do the other side. So let's inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest, step between the hands, find your crescent to begin. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, find your prayer twist. So maybe working through crescent and then twisting to the left. Inhale, back through crescent pose, finding your warrior 2. And then that half moon again. So stepping the front leg back, hinging forward. Fingertips reach again down toward your mat or maybe a block. Right hand reaches toward the sky. Belly pulls in here, stacking the hips, stacking the shoulders. And then find your breath. Extending through that right heel this time. Again, you can always float those fingers or use a block if you have one. Continuing to breathe here. Just take a couple more. We're coming back to warrior 2. So bend into that standing leg. Let the right foot land. Inhale here. Exhale, windmill those hands down. Frame the foot. Find your plank. Option as always, vinyasa or head straight to down dog. We're going to take a moment here as we're about halfway through. So let's let the knees fall to the mat. Take a child's pose. Forehead reaches down toward the earth. Slowly, when you're ready, coming back to tabletop and downward facing dog. Let's continue on. Right leg lifts. Inhale. Exhale, knee to chest. Step between the hands. We're finding crescent pose to start. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior 2. As we exhale, finding your crescent first and then twist, popping high on the back toes. Inhale, warrior 2, windmill those hands around. Exhale, half moon, just for a breath. Lowering the left fingertips down, squaring the hips to the ground, we're gonna come to a standing split. So you can reach that left heel higher, maybe point or flex the toes. You're welcome to walk the hands in line with the feet. We'll stay here for a few breaths. So you might shift the gaze to the back of the room. Continuing to breathe. We're going to come back to crescent pose from here. So bend into the standing leg. Let the left toes meet the earth. Inhale, both hands up and overhead. Exhale, hands down to the earth. Step back to your plank, vinyasa, or head straight to down dog. Let's do the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest, step between the hands. Crescent pose as you inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior 2. As we exhale, we're popping high on the back toes and we're twisting to the left. Inhale, warrior 2, windmill those hands around. Half moon for just a breath, lifting the right leg up. And then we'll drop the right hand down, starting to square the hips and find our standing split. So again, walking the hands in line with the foot, maybe letting the head hang loose to shift the gaze backwards. And then using your breath here. Think about reaching through that heel. 2 more. Crescent pose is next. Lower those right toes down. Inhale to lift the fingertips toward the sky. And exhale, hands return to the mat. Step back to your plank, vinyasa. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest, step between the hands. Crescent pose. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior 2. Finding your prayer twist as you exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, warrior 2, windmill your way around. Exhale, half moon. Inhale, standing split. And then warrior 3 is next. You can always just take a supported warrior 3, keeping the hands connected to the ground, extending through the crown of the head, or lifting the head, hand to heart center, or extending them forward. Letting the breath be steady here. We are at the tip of our pyramid. Two more breaths. Crescent pose on your next inhale. Drop the left toes down, reaching the fingertips up. Exhale, hands down to the earth. Step back to your plank, vinyasa. Let's go the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest, step between the hands, crescent pose. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior 2. Finding the prayer twist as we come through crescent, hands to heart center. Exhale. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Windmill around. Exhale, half moon. So dropping that left hand down. Inhale, find your standing split. And then exhale, find your warrior 3. We're holding here. So again, keeping the fingers connected to the earth is a great option. Just extend through the crown of the head. Reaching the right foot back. We're taking just a few more breaths. Crescent pose on your next inhale. Exhale, hands down to the earth. Step back to your plank, vinyasa. All right, y'all. We're going to do that one more time all the way through both sides, and that will complete our pyramid flow. So let's inhale, right leg lift. Exhale, knee to chest, step between the hands, crescent pose. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior 2. As we exhale, we come up through crescent and then find our twist. Inhale, warrior 2, windmill around. Exhale, half moon. Inhale, standing split. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale, crescent pose. And exhale, vinyasa. Let's do the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest, step between the hands. Inhale, crescent pose. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, find your twist. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, half moon. Inhale, standing split. Exhale, warrior three. Inhale, crescent pose. Nice, everyone. Exhale, find your last vinyasa. And this time, we'll meet in a child's pose. When you get to down dog, letting the knees once again fall to the mat. Forehead works its way down to the earth. Re-regulate your breath here. If you haven't had time or you haven't thought about revisiting your intention, this is a good time to do it. Taking the next 3 breaths to find your way back to a down dog. Let's inhale, gaze at the hands. Exhale, step walker or float forward, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Then exhale, hands to heart center. Final vinyasa. Inhale, reach the hands out and up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back. Following your breath here. As we come to downward facing dog, we're going to inhale, right leg lift. Exhale, pigeon prep. So bringing the calf down to the front of your mat. If you have a blanket and you want to put it under that right hip, I do recommend it. Left leg straight behind you, squaring the shoulders and the hips toward the front of your mat. So from here, proud pigeon. If you want to work down to a humble pigeon, maybe the forearms come down to the earth. Maybe even the forehead reaches down to the ground. Not letting go of your breath quite yet, but feeling that similar sensation we felt at the beginning of class in our reclined pigeon, we can feel here in our humble pigeon. Flexing the right toes back toward the calf. Taking just a few more breaths here. If you have a mermaid in your practice, you're welcome to include it. That would include coming up onto the forearms, bending the back leg, and reaching back for the left foot with the left hand. Eventually, you might get those toes into the crook of the elbow. But today, we're just going to do a little bit of a quad stretch. Softly releasing that foot down. We'll come back to a down dog from here. So tucking the back toes to lift the back knee, and then letting the right foot meet the left. Giving yourself a little pedal in the leg if you like. And we'll come to the other side. Left leg lift. Exhale, shin down toward the mat. So reaching those right toes back, right leg right behind you. Again, maybe you put something under this left hip to keep yourself up and over your pigeon pose. Starting with your proud pigeon, and then maybe you choose to come to a humble pigeon, either forearms down, forehead down. A great place to use blankets or blocks to help support the body. Continuing to use the breath here, deep inhales and exhales. Imagine those hips feeling a little bit heavier in these final few breaths. If you want to get that mermaid in, this would be the time to come back up onto the palms, bending the right knee, reaching back for that foot with the right hand. Again, I'm going to just do the quad stretch today, but if you can work those toes into the crook of the elbow, then you can work toward a mermaid pose. If you have that mermaid, softly release it. Let's all come back to a downward facing dog. Tuck the back toes to lift the back knee and let the left foot meet the right. Last down dog of class. If you have any other ways you'd like to move here in down dog, this is the time to do it. As you inhale, we can gaze forward at the hands. Exhale, step walk or float to a deep squat. So feet come to the outsides of the mat, hips hang low. So we can let the triceps press into the inner thigh. Hands come to heart center. Connecting the feet fully with the earth, lifting the heart forward. Belly pulls in here, creating a nice strong torso. We're just going to come to a seat from here. So you might put one hand in front, one hand behind, and then slowly lower those sit bones down to the earth. Reaching the legs forward, we'll take a nice staff forward fold. So moving the flesh away from those sit bones. Think about sitting tall in the body. Chest facing forward, everything square to the top of the mat, and then flex those toes. Create some activity there. We are going to take a forward fold. If you have a dish rag or a strap that you like to use to wrap around the bottom of the feet, that might be a good option. As you inhale, let's bring our hands up and overhead, and as we exhale, reaching those fingertips toward the feet. Now you might grab the calves or the ankles. Once you do, let the head hang heavy to find your fold. Always a great option to bend the knees. From our forward fold, we're going to come back up to a nice tall seat. So I thought we'd do some inversion again today. I'm going to recommend just a candlestick, so bringing the feet over the hips and laying back on your spine. So we'll shift our way forward, roll onto our back. I have a block here, so I can place the block under my low spine and then lift those feet toward the sky. You don't need a block in order to do this inversion posture. You can also change this inversion if you want to do legs up a wall and you have a wall near you, or you have a various other inversion bringing the feet over the heart. But we'll be here for the next few moments, so feel free to get settled in your inversion and then allowing the eyes to unfocus or even shut them down if you're taking this type of restorative inversion practice. As you get those feet overhead, think about extending through the heels or the soles of the feet, engaging the legs. We're not totally relaxing yet. Finding energy still. Let's take about 5 more breaths here. Slowly drawing those knees back down to the chest if you're taking the similar inversion. and then lowering the feet to the mat. If you have a block underneath you, slowly removing it. So we'll bring the knees in toward the chest, giving ourselves a nice hug. And then taking another spinal twist. So we're going to drop the knees to the right as we shift the hips to the left. Letting that left shoulder feel heavy, maybe extending that left arm out. We'll work our way to the other side. So you can walk those feet across or lift the knees through center. This time the knees will fall to the left as we shift the hips to the right. Letting the right shoulder sink down, maybe extending the right arm long. Slowly bringing those knees back to center, realigning the hips so you have a nice long spine, and then happy baby will round out our practice. So grabbing the outsides of the feet, the bottom of the thighs, bringing the knees in toward the armpits, and then you can add a soft rock if that feels nice, or you can straighten one leg and then the other. So believe it or not, we've come to the end of our practice and all we have left is Shavasana. So let's get down onto our mats, laying the spine long. If you want to add any blankets, blocks, or grab some socks or a sweatshirt to make this time a little more comfortable. Letting the legs extend toward the top of your mat, resting the arms by the sides. Unfocusing the gaze or closing the eyes down. And you might take a couple of deep inhales and exhales to release that breathing practice. Once again, that heaviness in the body, in the heels, the hips, and the head become very present for you. Watching the tempo of the breath begin to slow and steady without you controlling it. And for the next few moments here, we'll simply be. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, your hands and your feet. Your arms may reach overhead as if you just woke up. Gently drawing the knees in toward the chest, and then falling off to one side in a fetal position. When you're ready, coming up to a seat at the top of your mat. Eyes can remain closed. Hands may rest on the legs or at heart center. Express gratitude toward yourself for taking this time out of your day to do something just for you. Revisit the intention you set at the beginning of class one final time. As always, I'll end today's class with the quote: "Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Do justly now. Love mercy now. Walk humbly now. You are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it." With respect and compassion, we say, Namaste.